What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's that vlog time once again. That's right, it's episode 35 of our Let's Vape vlog series, where we talk about a whole bunch of different topics affecting the vaping industry, my channel, and just everything else in between. Basically, a what I've been up to sort of thing. I've got a full show on tap for you guys today. I've got a lot of good stuff to talk about here. We've got some advocacy news, we've got some channel news, we've got some first impressions, which I really need to make a separate bumper for because it really needs its own section. We've got some shout-outs, we've got what I've been vaping on, we've got a beer for beer o'clock. It's a rare one this time, guys, so I'm super excited about that. We've got some vape mail. I got a couple of things in this week which I want to unbox for you guys, and last but not least, we're going to cap it all off with a random review. So with that, go ahead and grab your favorite vape, grab a comfy chair, sit back, relax, and let's vape. All right, guys, we're going to start off with the advocacy news, and this is the American Cancer Society's position statement on electronic cigarettes. Now, this news broke just after I wrapped up my last vlog, so we have to talk about it basically a week late. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this already, but I do want to mention it on this channel. Everyone's freaking out because they've been reading these headlines that say the American Cancer Society is now endorsing the use of electronic cigarettes. Now, I must clarify that statement by saying, no, they don't. They really don't. Basically, they are admitting that they're less harmful than smoking traditional combustible cigarettes. However, they're still really downplaying the effectiveness of electronic cigarettes to help people quit smoking and stay off nicotine products and, you know, get off tobacco, etc., etc. Yeah, they kind of made like one tiny baby step in the right direction, but a million steps back. I mean, it's nothing new. It's kind of like that backhanded compliment. You know, you have that one friend in the group that you just kind of go, oh, I like your shirt or something like that, and then you kind of laugh it off. But yeah, it's kind of like that. They really don't mean what they say, and unfortunately, that's kind of the world we live in nowadays. And I do have to read a couple of little snippets here off the actual American Cancer Society's website. Using current generation e-cigarettes is less harmful than smoking cigarettes, but the health effects of long-term use are not known. Well, yeah, okay, so they kind of said, yeah, okay, yeah, electronic cigarettes are less harmful, but then they go, okay, but just be careful of using them. You never know what you're gonna get. You could blow your face off. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Could you tell me if that was a positive statement or a negative statement? I mean, honestly, it's really tough to determine that, but another thing that they said, to help smokers quit, the ACS recommends that clinicians advise their patients to use FDA-approved cessation aids that have been proven to support successful quit attempts. Many smokers choose to quit smoking without the assistance of a clinician, and some opt to use e-cigarettes to accomplish this goal. The ACS recommends that clinicians support all attempts to quit the use of combustible tobacco and work with smokers to eventually stop using any tobacco product, including e-cigarettes. Some smokers, despite firm clinician advice, will not attempt to quit smoking cigarettes and will not use FDA-approved cessation medications. These individuals should be encouraged to switch to the least harmful form of tobacco product possible. Switching to the exclusive use of e-cigarettes is preferable to continuing to smoke combustible products. Of course, these individuals should be regularly advised to completely quit using all tobacco products. The ACS strongly discourages the concurrent or dual use of electronic cigarettes and combustible cigarettes, a behavior that is far more detrimental to a person's health compared to the substantial health benefit of quitting smoking. Again, a fairly backhanded statement. You have to realize that these people don't want this industry to succeed. They want us to fail. So they're going to do everything in their power to say, okay, you know, these might be good, but at the same time bashing us all over the place. They even go on later in the article to say the use of products containing nicotine in any form among youth is unsafe and can harm brain development. Furthermore, evidence indicates that young e-cigarette users are at an increased risk for both starting to smoke and becoming long-term users of combustible tobacco products. Now, So this is that whole thing where they're saying that, oh, big tobacco is trying to lure your children in with all these flavors and all these fancy mods and this and that. But honestly, let's put it this way. I really want to see the actual numbers of how many people were polled when they did this sort of study here. I really want to know the demographic. I want to know how many people were polled. I want to know who conducted this study. There's nothing like that. I mean, I've seen basically the charts and graphs and stuff like that they put on the mass news media where it says e-cigarettes are getting your kids hooked on smoking and this and that. And of course, it's sensationalized, it's blown way out of proportion, and what they don't tell you is that the study size was of only about 1,000 people. And they actually do this. I'm not lying to you guys. They only poll like 1,000 people, and then they just go and inflate the numbers and say, okay, well, if 10 out of 1,000 kids are going to smoke cigarettes after using an e-cigarette, then that means 1 million kids are going to across the US. So let's just put that out there, guys. I mean, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here. Yes, a lot of the kind of vape advocacy kind of news media is saying it's kind of a win, but at the same time, it's 10 steps backwards, and I tend to agree with them. One thing we can do is kind of celebrate the fact that, yes, they did put it out there that e-cigarettes are less harmful, but at the same time, we got to be really, really cautious of how much we give them our hugs and kisses. Moving right along, I do have to clarify something in one of this week's videos, which was the Innokin-Zenith video. I said that my coil was leaking everywhere, I was getting gurgling, I just was having a really terrible time, I couldn't get it to work right, and my tank was leaking when I took the coil out of it. So Demi hit me up immediately after I posted that video and, you know, just kind of said that they designed this tank not to leak when you take your coil out, and that was something that was really weird. I do have to clarify, I said I would in the video that I would follow up with it, and yeah, this coil right here that I put in there is working just fine. I haven't had a single leaking issue with it so far, and it's holding up nicely. I'm able to trust this one. I'm going to leave it out on my vape mat night after night, and it's going to be fine. But that first coil that I had in there, the one that came in the box, was just bad. I don't know what it was about it, but for some reason it was bad, and I just had leaking issues all over the place. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, just be cautious with it at first, of course. Maybe just fill up your tank about halfway or something like that. And when it comes to changing out your coil, make sure you have less than half a tank of juice. Now, I wasn't having a full tank of juice when I changed my coil out at all or taking it out at all, but I was just having leaking issues for some reason. I have no idea if it was the residual juice inside the coil from when it was gurgling or something like that, but personally, I got it to leak right out the mouthpiece when I went to take that coil out and put it back in. So not sure why that was. Honestly, I really have no idea, but I will be kind of keeping my eye on this, and if it needs further clarification and further, you know, explanation to you guys out there, then I, of course, will do that. The next thing we're going to talk about is some news, and it's stickers! I've got a new batch of stickers on the way, which I'm super excited about. I've been working on these designs all week long, and I've been teasing all of my patrons with the designs, and they're absolutely loving them, so I'm really excited for this batch. I am completely out of all of my stickers from the last batch, so it was time to go big, and that's exactly what I did here. I've got 3 new designs on the way, which I'm stoked about, and I can't wait for you guys to see them. I will not be showing you them until they come in, but if you are a patron of mine, you have already seen them, and I know you guys are really excited about it. But I did want to announce one thing that, you know, usually I would just bring them with me to events and stuff like that and just hand them out there, but I really want all of you guys to have access to my awesome stickers. So if you guys want a sticker pack, all you have to do is send me whatever the cost of a stamp is. I can't really imagine it would cost that much more because they're just stickers, but with that cost of a stamp and a couple of bucks, and you got yourself some Daily Vape TV stickers. They're gonna be badass, guys. I promise. You're gonna really want these. And all of you patrons out there, you don't have to pay a couple of bucks. All of my stickers will be on the house. So as far as that goes, new sticker designs, I got 3 of them coming. They're gonna be awesome. Make sure you stay tuned. Another real quick little channel update here. I know you guys are curious. I've been getting some messages about what happened to Fresh Build Friday / Vape School 101 this week. Well, what happened was I was at the shop closing up and just about to record a video when Demo said he was going live. He wanted me on as a guest, so I obliged. You know, I said I would jump on for a little bit, and we did a little bit of a stream, which was a lot of fun. And then I had to go, so I got out of there, and as soon as I did, I got a call from my buddy Tom. Tom is from the Vape Finder app over there in the UK. He runs the London Vape Show, and I really wanted to pick his brain about a lot of stuff. So we ended up talking for hours and hours and hours. We had probably a 5 or 6 hour conversation, and we got a lot of stuff nailed down for the London Vape Show, which I'm really excited about. That's going to be in August, I think 25th and 26th, or 24th and 25th, something around that time. So if you are in the UK, if you're in the London area and you want to make it down for that, definitely come down because I'm going to be there. It's going to be awesome and you guys will have a ton of fun. But with that, yeah, that's what happened with this week's Fresh Build Friday video. I do apologize for taking 2 weeks off in a row, but you guys know that I have a lot of business to take care of, especially with Blaz and, you know, the Vape Finder stuff and Savs and Vape Stew and all this. I have a lot to work on and to go over. So yeah, I'm a busy guy, but I do apologize for not coming out with another video. I swear it's going to be up next week. Next Friday will be episode 2 of Vape School 101, where we're going to be tuning up some coils and all that good stuff. Alright guys, next up is some first impressions. We've got this one to start off with. This is the Nudge 22 RDA by Wotofo, and yeah, I decided to build this thing on the Super Awesome Vape Show preview show on Saturday on Chris from Empire Vape Co.'s channel, and I was just kind of tinkering around with it, so I decided to throw a build in here. But with that, I've been vaping it for a few hours, and it has been pretty good to me so far. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it so far. You actually get 2 caps with this thing. You get kind of a more cloud cap and a flavor cap. Right now I'm rocking the flavor cap, the slightly reduced airflow, and it's doing really good. Actually, this was a suggestion from Dean the Devil Vapor. He saw me building it and tinkering around with it, and he said, dude, have you used the small air hole cap on it yet? I said no. So I got it out and I've been trying it. I've also got the 510 drip tip on there. This is a Half Moon Mods 510 drip tip with the adapter, and I really like this sort of setup here. This is definitely my kind of thing. The super wide bore tip just doesn't really feel right with this sort of airflow setup. It just feels way, way, way too much. So I kind of reduced it down to that little 510, and so far so good. As far as the build on here, I've got a frame staple pre-made wire from Coilology. They make some really good stuff just to kind of test devices out with. I really like using their stuff for that. But yeah, this is a 5-wrap frame staple coil from Coilology, and yeah, it's really good. The flavor on this thing is amazing. It's a more concentrated flavor than the Nudge 24, and it's a more kind of like warmish sort of vape. I use the Nudge 24 also on the Nudge Box, and it gives me a good kind of cross-section between the 2 devices here by using that, and it's really, really good so far. I gotta say, I'm not complaining about it whatsoever. I don't really have the same issues as far as building this thing. It's as simple as just kind of locking in one side, pulling it tight, and locking in the other side, then just sort of positioning your coil, tuning it up, and throwing some wicking in there. It's pretty darn easy. Of course, I'll go over all of that in the full review video for this thing, and yeah, let's just go ahead and have a vape on it. Next up, we've got something pretty darn interesting for you guys. This is the Squonk Genius. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen this before. This is that kind of weird-looking contraption from our friends over at Cthulhu Mods. It comes in this little tin here, and it's something that's just really interesting. I like the concept. I gotta say, I'm gonna admit that I like the concept, but it's just not all there for me. One reason is because it's so ginormous. The same thing with the lift from Innokin. This thing makes everything just freaking-normous, and I absolutely can't stand the looks of this thing. I think it is absolutely ugly. It doesn't match my finish whatsoever of the Phobia RDA, which we'll be talking about in just a second here. But otherwise, it actually performs quite well. I'm kind of shocked by the fact that it actually does perform well. I really like the little squishy bottle they got in there, but the hole that's cut out here is kind of on the sharpish side, and it's not quite big enough, really. I don't know. It's just not really my thing. I don't know if I can get used to it. I have only been using it for a couple of hours, so it's still the early stages of testing with this one here, but you will be seeing it on the channel relatively soon. So far, I mean, performance-wise, yeah, it works, but it's butt ugly. Speaking of the Phobia RDA, next thing we're going to talk about is the Phobia RDA. I've been using this thing for a couple of of weeks now, and I gotta say, it's pretty interesting because it's not your average just kind of throw any sort of build in there that you want sort of RDA. This thing really likes the smaller coils. 2.5mm inner diameter is definitely preferred with this one here, just because if you use 3mm coils, or any higher than that for that matter, you're gonna get that weird, awkward kind of drip going, hitting your coils down and just straight down the airflow. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're gonna be dripping on this thing, you absolutely want to use smaller coils. If you're squonking on it, it doesn't really matter as much. However, I really don't like RDAs that you have to use for a specific purpose. If this is meant just for squonking, then that's kind of a pain for me because I'm not a huge squonk fan. Honestly, I'm not the biggest squonker in the world, so if you're only meant to just squonk this thing, then it's really not for me. But I like the bottom airflow concept. I really like the deck design overall. I think it's pretty neat. The side-on airflow I feel like is a bit too much, however. I honestly don't think they needed that. I feel like that was kind of tacked on and just unnecessary. I'm a big fan of slightly restricted airflow like the Kennedy, and this just doesn't really give me that same satisfaction. It's kind of too airy and whistly and just, I don't know, a lot of little issues with this one, but overall it is very classy looking. I like the overall look of it, and it's a really cool kind of concept for an RDA. It just needs a little bit more tweaking and it would be okay with me. And last on our list of first impressions is this guy right here. This is the Fuchai Squonker. Sigelei sent this over to me, and I gotta say, my first impressions on it are actually really good. I really like the mod. I've always been a fan of the Fuchai series devices, and this is definitely no exception to that. It does have a kind of an interesting bottle release. Like, it's got this magnetic piece here that comes out to reveal a tiny, tiny, tiny little bottle. Unfortunately, the bottle is probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 mil at most. They could have easily fit a bigger bottle in there if they didn't have this giant hunk of metal sticking out the front of it. But I do like the overall kind of form factor. The look and feel is great. I've just been a big fan of the Fuchai for so long. I love the clickiness of the button. The screen is nice on it. And the bonus is it takes not only 18650s, but also 2700s and 21700s. I've got a 21700 in here right now, and it's doing just fine. I'm rocking about 74 watts. The one thing about the single battery mods is that the battery does drain quicker. Obviously, you know, you don't have those 2 batteries to drain equally. You're going off the amperage of one single battery, so it's going to put a lot more strain on said battery. And with that, you definitely have less battery life. But with a 21700, you get about 3000. I mean, some are marked 3500, 4000, but you know, you got to go check Moochie's page out if you have any doubt about that. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, you get, you know, about the same out of no matter which battery type you use. I would recommend this one with a single coil, however, just because of that single battery issue there. The build deck that they supply you with this really god-awful, ugly RDA that they supply with it is meant for dual coils, and there's really no option for a single coil on there. So, there's that. That's definitely a big issue with me. I'm not really a big fan of that. I'm not really a big fan of this RDA in general. It's square. It's kind of like a rounded off square, and it's really ugly. It's really ugly. The drip tip is not comfortable, and it is proprietary. It's just got nothing going on for it that I've actually enjoyed. The deck really feels weak, really, really weak, and really, really just not good. It does not feel like a quality made product, and I think they should just stick with mods for right now. As far as the RDA is concerned, this thing is getting off of there as soon as I get a squonkable purple recoil Rebel. I will tell you that right now, hands down. As soon as that will come in, I am definitely getting rid of this thing. But let's go ahead and have a vape off of it anyway. All right, guys, it's shout out time. You guys sent in those emails, and it's time to share some love for you guys out there that took the time to do that. So before we get started here, we have our current patron list here from Patreon. We have Joanne S, JG, Dean S, Pete D, Ryan J, Syntech, Stephen A, James F, Angela G, and Christian C. You guys are all my current patrons, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. If you guys want to become a patron, patron yourself, then just check out the link all the way down at the bottom of the description. And I just want to thank you guys so much for doing what you do and helping me out. Let's go ahead and click on over to my notes here real quick. Let's take a look at these emails. We've got 3 to talk about today. Starting off with the first one here, says, "Hey Killer, I'm a new subscriber. My name is AJ Clark." Yes, you can say my name. Okay, well that's good because I just did. "I'm a military member who has been vaping for 3 years, and vape YouTubers like yourself have been a great influence on me to quit smoking and stay off the cigs. I'm really glad that there are unbiased guys out there like you. Keep it up. By the way, love the Fresh Build Fridays." Well, there you go. First of all, AJ, thank you so much for your service. It does mean the world to me. I love my veterans, and I really just want to show my appreciation to you. And of course, I'll keep up the Fresh Build Friday videos. So thank you for writing that email, AJ. Really does mean the world to me. Next up we have, it says, "Hey Nick, how you doing, dude? I just want to say thanks for the shout out on the live vape show the other night. I have been 100% smoke-free for over 3 years now. Congratulations on that. I need some advice, if possible. I did my first review in October 2016 and did them 3 days a week on Facebook Live until just before Christmas this year. I haven't taken the old page down, and I'm making a start on my YouTube channel. You have the channel a shout out on your live stream. Okay, yeah. Thanks very much. I was wondering what tips you have for reviewers on YouTube, as it's totally different from doing live reviews. Like I said, I've been doing them since October 2016, but need advice on, and any tips for YouTube would be greatly appreciated. Love the show and a big fan. Cheers to you and Vape On, dude. Mobro from the UK, Vaping with Mobro on Facebook and YouTube, also on Instagram. Thanks for taking the time to read this, and we'll look forward to more of your content." Well, Mobro, yeah, I gave you a shout out the other night on, I believe it was Savs. I'm pretty sure it was Savs that I gave him a shout out on. So big shout out once again to you, Mobro, for taking the time to write that email. Go check out Vaping with Mobro on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe. Any tips for YouTubers? Actually, this is kind of a first. Honestly, I don't think anyone's ever really asked me directly about getting a start on YouTube. I mean, I could basically just explain it the way I started, and I have learned so much since, but just do your thing. Just do your thing. Just get yourself out there, put yourself out there on all the different social medias. Just create content. That is what you are. You are a content creator. I am a content creator. Everyone with a YouTube channel or, you know, any creative sort of page is a content creator. So just do your thing. Keep going no matter what people say. Just keep going, keep pushing forward, and just do your thing. You don't have to have the top of the range stuff, but I would suggest, you know, at the very least, like a really good webcam and microphone setup. It's not going to cost you $1 million. You could probably get away with a decent setup for about $200 to $250, and that's, you know, basically a good webcam and a good like web-based microphone or USB mic, plug and play sort of thing. But yeah, that's all you really need to get your start. After that, just keep doing it, you know, keep doing it. Live streams are really hot right now. Live content is really a big thing on YouTube, obviously with my Super Awesome Vape show and also the Vape Stew show over on Tenacious TX Vapes channel. Those are all really big things right now and people love it. So just do your thing, man. Just create content and keep pushing forward. Come up with a couple of videos a week and people will eventually start watching. So hopefully it gave you a good little bump there with this shout out, but that's what I would do to get started in the YouTube biz. Finally, we have one more to get through. It says, "What's up, Nick? I'm Brock Wiles from South Carolina. You shouted me out on your live, one of your live vlogs, and I have a question. Been smoke-free 4 years this year, and I'm building my coils. Now, I'm not a professional yet, but I build dual coils out of twisted wire, and it came out to 0.31 ohms, a flavor build. But my concern is, how do you make my coils tighter? Next is my coil isn't perfect, but they work. I built 0.09 for 2 weeks in a row. Now I need more advice from an expert like you. I build off the jig, but I don't use the top cap of it. It is is there a way you could possibly help me out on this, please and thank you. All right, Brock, so first thing that really concerns me is that 0.09 build. That is just kind of a little bit too low for safety unless you're using a parallel box mod or something like that. Then it would be okay, but honestly, I would still err on the side of caution when it comes to those things, and you want to at least build a 0.12, 0.14 just to be on the safe side. But as far as I'm concerned, maybe adding an extra wrap or two would help with that. And as far as making your coils tighter, you can always anneal your coils. What we used to do back in the day is we used to hit the wire with a torch before we wrapped our coils, and that's how we got the springiness out of the wire. Then again, back in those days, we were using, 28 gauge to wrap a micro coil with, and that's what was preferred. But nowadays, obviously, times are changing a lot, and we have much thicker gauge wire to work with here, and that's what we're mainly using for our coils. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, the whole concept will still work in this circumstance, and that's one thing you can do. Honestly, what I do is I have my coil gripped in my fingers really super tight, and I take my pliers and pull that lead. I really yank that lead, and I give it an extra half or almost a full extra wrap just to make that coil nice and tight. What you can also do is when you're installing those coils, you put one lead in, tighten it down, have your bit still through your coil, and pull the other lead when it's through the terminal as well, and really make it crank on there tight and bend it over so it doesn't go anywhere, and then you can tighten it down. So that is an easy way to tighten up your coils. Make sure you're also, after you install, is you pull it away from the post. That is another way you can actually tighten up your coils. It might spring back a little bit on you, but it will definitely help. Thank you guys so much for the emails. It seriously means the world to me. If you guys want to shout out for yourself, all you have to do is send me an email, dailyvapetv@gmail.com. Just tell me your name, tell me a little bit about yourself, tell me your story, tell me who you want me to shout out, and I, of course, will get to it at some point on one of these vlogs. All right, guys, it's time to talk about what I've been vaping on this past week, and I've got a lot of new setups in the rotation here for review purposes. I'm vaping a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be reviewing in the very near future, so this will kind of give you a clue of what you're going to see this week, next week, the week after, etc. I've got the Nudge 22 RDA on top of the Wotofo Nudge Squonk box, and I've got my little Half Moon Mods tip on top of there. This is one of those short, fat ones, and I just thought it looked really nice. Inside the chamber there, I've got some of this Bluebird e-liquid. This is a mixed berry cheesecake with Captain Crunch. Yes, you heard me correctly. Mixed berry cheesecake with Captain Crunch cereal. And I tend to get the Captain Crunch cereal with hotter builds. On cooler builds, I get more of the mixed berry cheesecake. So right here, this is kind of in between, to be honest with you. I'm getting a little bit of that cereal, a little bit of that kind of berry flavor and that cheesecake kind of base note to it, and it's very good. So for all you cheesecake fans out there, if you have not tried the Bluebird range yet, absolutely give it a shot. The link's down there in the description. Make sure you go check them out. The next setup I've got for you guys is kind of an oddball. This is, this is a wonky one, I gotta admit. I've got the Vandy Vape Phobia RDA with a double helix design, color-changing drip tip on top of there. We've got the Cthulhu Mods Squonk Genius in the middle. I just can't take this thing seriously. It just looks ridiculous. And then we've got the V, I think this thing is called the V mod. It's the variable voltage, not variable wattage mod. Very simple, just a little screen there. It's got an on-off switch, and that's about it. That's really all there is to this device. It's a dual 18650, and it is actually really nice, I gotta admit. It's nice not having to have all that information on that screen. You don't get a stupid puff counter or none of that stuff. It's just straight up power. That's it. That's all you gotta worry about. So this setup is definitely weird, but you know what? At the end of the day, it does work. So inside the tank, I've got some Mighty Mango, and this is from Mighty Vapors. I love mango. Mango is one of my all-time favorite flavor profiles, so I'm really digging this stuff. One thing I really like about mods that don't have those ginormous color screens on them is you get an instant response time. This thing fires up immediately and it hits really hard. I only have it set to 3.7 volts right now, and I gotta say, it is hitting super duper hard. So definitely digging that one, although it does look a little bit funny. Next up, I've got the Fu Chai Squonker. You didn't see that coming, did you? Well, anyways, I don't have to ramble on and on about it because we already spoke about this one in the first impressions. But inside the RDA, I've got some of this stuff right here. This is Voltage from Juice Guy's distro. Really, really good stuff. It's a nice kind of mixed berry punch, if you will. It does have raspberry in it, which is not my favorite flavor profile in the world, but it is forgiven because it's got a lot of other berries going on as well. Very, very, very refreshing. Kind of one of those all-day vapes you never get really sick of or anything like that. Just kind of cleanses the palate a little bit as well. That's one thing raspberry is good for as far as my taste buds are concerned. So let's just go ahead and have a vape. And the last full mod setup I've got for you guys is this one right here. This is the Innokin-Zenith-Tank on top of the Innokin Coolfire Ultra 150 TC. And yeah, you guys saw this in my review video, so I really don't have to talk about it too much, but this is my go-to mouth-to-lung setup, and I really just wanted to test out these coils further. I mean, it's good to have a mouth-to-lung setup on hand that's not a pod system using regular nicotine, but with this one here inside the tank, I have some of this Addy Boy e-liquid. This one is called Sweet Emotion. It's kind of that honey and ginger ale sort of flavor. Very different, very out there, very unique, and just flavorful. It's just definitely like got a lot of flavor to it, especially in this mouth-to-lung setup. I have been using this flavor in mouth-to-lung setups for quite some time now, and I'm definitely enjoying it. And last but not least, we have the Soul Pod System. I've been rocking this one all week. I love it because it has a micro USB charger, not a proprietary charger. It's got a very sleek finish to it. The pods are kind of hard plastic and they are magnetic, so they lock in there nice and tight. And they have a really unique flavor profile as well. This one is watermelon. I've been vaping this watermelon pod for about a week now, and it is absolutely amazing. Lots more coming from this system here, so make sure you guys stay tuned. You guys know what time it is. It's beer o'clock. That's right, it's time to drink some beer, my favorite segment of the vlog. And this one is from, of course, my friend Dan. Dan, big shout out to you. Dan the Beer Man. Everyone go thank Dan the Beer Man down in the comments box for giving this one to me, because this one is very rare and special. A first run of Treehouse Brewing's Hurricane. I am really excited about this one. This is an American double IPA coming in at 7.7% ABV. And let's just quickly read the flavor description here. FYI, this is the first run of this beer, so I'm probably one of the first people to even review it on YouTube. So let's go ahead and read the description real quick. It says, "Here comes the story of Hurricane. Hurricane is a double IPA featuring intense kettle and dry hop doses of primarily Simcoe and Citra hops. A pungent aroma of earthy citrus gives way to a beer rich with complexity, conjuring perceptions of papaya, melon, mandarin orange, and stone fruit. By applying years of focused brewing execution, we are able to craft Hurricane, a beer that is neither abrasive or harsh and features tirelessly refined characteristics. We are welcoming this beer to the family as a proud example representing who we are as a brewery. It is the result of our uncompromising dedication to fresh, progressive, and pleasantly drinkable beer. We invite you to enjoy it with laughter, good cheer, and in the company of those you love." Well, I am in the company of those who I love because I got you guys watching me out there. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's kick this thing off. Let's crack this can. Oh, I love that sound. Whew. And I've got my Treehouse glass, of course. Let's go ahead and give it a pour. Kind of a pale, hazy, orangish sort of color. Just do a little short pour this time. Not going too crazy. I'm going to savor this one for sure. Lacing on it is really bubbly. Doesn't really have a lot of legs to this one. It does kind of slide down that glass fairly quickly, but it does have a very white kind of head to it. Very hazy color characteristics here. Kind of that pale orange, sort of yellow. Not super amber at all. And it definitely looks like a glass of grapefruit juice or something like that. So yeah, let's give it a whiff here. Very fruity smelling. You can smell the alcohol as well. I'm telling you right now, I'm definitely getting that double IPA sort of smell. This one's definitely going to be on the more citrus side, I feel like, than anything. So let's go ahead and have our first sip. Yeah, you know what? As I kind of slowly swallowed that first sip, I do get those kind of melon hints that they're talking about. It's weird because it kind of tastes like a honeydew, and honeydew doesn't have a ton of flavor, but I get like a kind of honeydew sort of hint. I also get, you know, obviously the citrus in there as well. The kind of tree fruits and stuff like that are a little bit hidden and in the background, very much at the end, and it's right before that alcohol bite hits you. Then you get that kind of alcoholness coming through, and then it just kind of resonates on your tongue for the remainder. But let's go ahead and have another sip. This one is very bright and vibrant and bubbly and just refreshing, delicious. It's kind of like drinking a glass of fruit juice. You really can't tell there's alcohol in it until way after the fact, until that bite comes in and then it just takes over. But it's not overly harsh. You could just kind of feel it, and it's kind of that warming sensation as it kind of goes down into your stomach. Really nice, really pleasant, very fruity, not overly hoppy. I was kind of surprised by that because you can smell more of the hops than you can actually taste. And I do get a lot of the fruits that they mention in that little description there. You know, honestly, I try not to read description because of that. I try to kind of pick out what I get from beers when I drink them. But in this case, I'm kind of glad I found that that melon hint that they mentioned. It's just kind of right on the first taste, right as it crosses across your tongue there. You really get that like slight hint of almost like a honeydew melon. That's what I get, at least. Hopefully you guys can get your hands on one of these too, because I know this is a very limited release. It's a very short run, and I know a lot of beer lovers out there are probably going to be a little bit jealous. That is really good stuff, I got to admit. So let's go ahead and pair this one up. Dan had mentioned that he would like to see me try a raspberry with this one. Now, I am vaping this Voltage here by Juice Guys, and it does have a good dose of raspberry in there. So that's the one I'm going to start it with, but I do want to pair it up with something else, and we'll just give it kind of a dual rating system here. So let's go ahead and start it off and try this one with a raspberry flavor. One thing that this pairing does right is just kind of round out that flavor. You get the full bowl of fruit salad with this one here, including the tree fruits and the tropical fruits, and now you have a mixed berries in there as well. The raspberry is very tart and delicious, and it kind of adds that sweetness. Definitely cuts down on the alcohol bite factor to it, but one thing that it does do is kind of mask out a lot of the flavor that's actually in the beer, and I kind of want something that's going to amplify it. I really do want to just kind of add to that flavor, and I'm thinking about boosting up a particular flavor that I have in mind, which is the mango. I'm going to use this Mighty Mango and try this one out just to see how it plays off of the flavors that are actually in this beer. So let's go ahead and give this one a shot. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I do like this pairing a little bit more just because it kind of amplifies the flavors that I want to see more in the beer, which is kind of that tropical vibe. First you get the melon in the beer, then you get the real strong mango and kind of citrus flavors in the middle, and then it tapers off into the lighter notes of flavor and just ends with that sort of alcohol bite to it. It doesn't really kill off the alcohol bite, which I like. I kind of like feeling that and seeing that in this beer. And it doesn't kill it off at all. So I do like that. And, you know, I'm a mango fan. So, of course, I'm going to just kind of go with what I know. And, yeah, I do like this pairing a little bit more, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So let's go ahead and have one more vape off this thing. Yeah, I really do like this pairing a little bit more, mainly because it plays off of my palate. I really do like a good mango flavor, and it just kind of adds that into the mix there right in the middle, so I'm really enjoying it. It almost makes it into a sort of cocktail flavor. It has that tropical cocktail vibe going on with it, and it leaves the alcohol sting in, which I like. So with that, this one is really good, especially in like the warmer weather times. I really feel like this would be a good summer beer, good summer pairing, just sitting out by the pool or the beach or whatever. I really do enjoy this one, and it's definitely good to have that sort of summer vibe going on when it's 20 degrees outside in New England. So that is Hurricane from Treehouse Brewing. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this experience. Make sure you add me on Untapped if you haven't already. For those of you that have added me, you've already seen that I checked this beer in, so you'll be able to see it first. But add me. My username is just Vaping Beer Geek. You can get it on the Google Play or App Store, and I'll see what you guys are drinking. You guys can see what I'm drinking, and we'll all have a good time cheersing each other. So that's it for Beer Clock. All right, guys, it's vape mail time. Yes, I actually did get some vape mail this week, which I'm really excited about because it's Chinese New Year and I really was not expecting anything, but I got a couple of things. First of all, let's start off with the thing that's kind of obvious here because it's all labeled and branded with all of their lovely packing material. You got to show some respect for Vapetasia. They really know how to do it upright with their own packing tape. So we've got this big old box here. Let's go ahead and check it out, see what's inside. So boom, tape has been cut. This one's pretty easy to get into. Not like all those Chinese packages with all that lovely yellow tape on them. All right, packing slip. We don't need a packing slip. Bubble wrap. No, don't need a bubble wrap. Ooh, well, we have a fresh new Vapetasia snapback. Oh yeah, love it. Don't have a black one. I have a gray one. Don't have a black one. So yeah, you'll definitely be seeing that on the channel. Oh yes, stickers. I love stickers. So many stickers. We have all the killer custards and all that stuff. Oh my God, they sent so many. I love it. I'll show you guys a couple of them here. We have the lemon. We got the killer custard strawberry. We have some logo stickers. Another killer custard. Strawberry killer custard. The lemonade line. Pineapple Express. Oh, I forget the name. It's strawberry milk flavor. Rainbow Road. And Royalty 2. So let's go ahead and get these bottles out here. Let's see what we got. We have 3 bottles of lemon killer custard. These are 100 ml bottles, and you know what? I'm not gonna vape 300 mils of this stuff, so why don't we just do a quick little giveaway? I didn't really plan on this, so I'm just going to make up the rules on the spot. All you have to do to be entered is like this video, slap a like down there, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, of course, and send me an email, dailyvapetv@gmail.com, with the subject line, Vapetasia giveaway. So that's all you got to do to be entered in this giveaway, guys, so make sure you check out the full rules down in the description below. So let's go ahead and move on here. I've got one more thing to take a look at, which is this. Now, this is an interesting one, because I really don't know what exactly it is, so screw it. Let's just go ahead and open it. Well, all right, okay. First thing is, oh, all right, it's from Coil Master. Coil Master right there. There's some posters in here. There's, I don't even know. Okay, there's that. What are these? Can anyone tell me what these are? Please. Please let me know in the comments. It's like an envelope. I really don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so there's that. Happy Chinese New Year, everyone. What else do we have? Oh! DIY Kit Mini V2. Okay, that's definitely interesting. There's something else in here. Oh, another one. Well, you know what? We already did a giveaway on this video, so we're going to save another giveaway for when I do the review of this kit here. So stay tuned for that, but let's just go ahead and open this thing because why not? I'm really curious right now because I have not seen this yet. So take off the wrapping, take off the little sleeve. Here's a box. All right, I hear a lot of rattling, so I have no idea what to expect here. But there you go. Nice little hard plastic kit. This would be really good for traveling, I imagine. You know, if you're a traveler like myself, this is probably going to be really good. All right, well, there's that. You get some ceramic tweezers. You get some bits, which are all rattling around in here. Let's just try to put those back into place. Oh, it's different screwdrivers. That's kind of neat. You get an actual like multi screwdriver kit. Let's see if I can get these back into place. So here you go. You get the little screwdriver with different bits. You have different actual diameters too, so you can actually wrap coils around these as well as tighten your screws down, which is nice. You get some ceramic tweezers. You get some regular kind of hooked tweezers. You get some scissors and some little mini snips as well. Really good little kit, hard plastic case, very nice and sturdy feeling, and it's going to be great for the traveler out there. So what do you guys think of my new office decorations? Alright guys, so we're going to wrap it up today with a quick juice review of Mighty Vapor's Mighty Mango. Now, as most of you already know, mango is one of my all-time favorite flavor profiles, so this one should not disappoint. Let's go ahead and take a look at their website for the flavor description. It reads, a superior blend of succulent mango nectar. Short, sweet, to the point, gotta love it. I've got it loaded up in my setup right now, so let's go ahead and have our first vape. It's a very, very simple flavor. It's just mango. That's all you really have to know. It's just one plain flavoring and that's about it. But at the end of the day, that's all I was expecting. So as far as that's concerned, it definitely hits the nail right on the head with that. So let's go ahead and have one more vape here. We'll talk about it a little bit more and then we'll sign out. So this one does not have a ton of sweetness to it. It does have a tiny bit, but it's kind of in the background. The forefront is just the fresh, ripe mango flavor, and that's about it. That's all you really have to know with this one, and that's the beauty of it. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they definitely did a good job with it, and if you really love mango, then definitely put this one on your list. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the different topics that we talked about in tonight's video. Also, make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.